All right, Northcentral Nfused. It is September. Kids are back in school. Temperatures hopefully going to get a little cooler.
Let's hope so.
We're joined once again by our Director of Communications and Economic Development, Michael Bellapani.
Thank you.
And our Safety Director and Director of Loss Control, J.D. Cox.
Good to be here.
And our CEO and General Manager, Kevin Dodgers.
Thank you.
Kevin, I can't help but notice your spiffy new coffee cup. Or what?
You know, if you're going to have one, you need to have a little message that goes along with it.
Exactly. Where did you get that little sticker? Why don't you tell us real quick?
Oh, yeah. This is a gift from the Men of Free World. They participated in our Musicians for LeBonner CD. And not only did I get that, I got to spend some time with them and some great patients at LeBonner Hospital and saw some of the great stuff they did. If you want to see something amazing, have a grandmother go into her child's room to visit, her grandchild, and there's a band in there with the horn section.
That was great to see, but funnier for everybody else that wasn't there. Watch it. I've been in LeBonner all day setting up for interviews and the performances and everything. I see Kevin, I shake his hand, he ran right to the band. It's just like fanboy right there.
That's awesome. Well, where are we on the project, Justin?
We actually yesterday afternoon we got the CDs in, and they will be available for sale on September 3rd. You can pick them up here at Northcentral. You can pick them up at Harris Jewelry in Memphis, Sweet Lorraine's Guitar Shop in Hernando, and Hope Church in Cordova, and we'll offer it online and on Spotify and on iTunes, and it's going to be everywhere. So you will have no problem searching Musicians for LeBonner and finding that album, and it's really good.
Yeah.
I know you got your copy today, and Kevin got his yesterday. Did you find a place to play it yet?
I will.
You will. I gave him a CD. He's just like, I don't have a CD player anymore.
Yeah, I mean,
I took some stuff to Pat and computer this morning, so I should be listening to something early next week.
There you go. Well, if you hadn't, if everybody has not liked the Musicians for LeBonner Facebook page, there's a lot of information on there and promos for these musicians that have given so much to this project, and I'm sure we'll also be listing everywhere where you can buy the CD. And remember, all proceeds do go to LeBonner Children's Hospital.
Yeah, no one gets paid for this. That's what's been so incredible about it is. And I told this, I was actually interviewing Free World, and they thanked me, and I said, it's really, you're doing something good when you can get all this free labor out of people, and they thank you for the opportunity. But those guys were really cool to talk to, and it was really funny to see it go from two acoustic guitar players to this horn section and that huge bass that Richard Cushing plays, and they just lit up the place. Everyone was shocked.
Did.
It was so funny, and you just kind of. I think you made a comment to me about it, just like this is something we need to keep doing. This is a free concert.
Yeah, really cool.
Yeah. All right, so September. I guess we will start with our fearless leader here. What's going on?
There's a fine line between fearless and stupidity,
but you walk that so.
We're gonna endeavor to persevere. Gonna give a fiber to the home update. There's been a little bit of news stirring in North Mississippi, and some of the cooperatives have made decisions that they want to go ahead and start their internet company and provide that service to their members. As I've told y'all before, we've got 75 to 80 miles of fiber in the air right now. We're not starting from the ground up right now. We've already got some fiber in the air, and what we're doing is we're trying to make sure that we select the right design engineer and consultant that'll help us with our build out, help us build it out in phases, make sure that the financing is in place, make sure that it's done. It's going to be done somewhat deliberately, but it's going to be closely studied. But having said that, I think that we should be in a position in the next 6 to 9 months to announce our intentions on what we plan to do. But when Northcentral says that we're going to do something, I want to be able to tell you exactly what we're going to do. So when if an announcement's made one way or the other, we're going to be able to tell you what we want to offer, potentially some type of timeline and what the pricing may be. So we understand that people probably get a little bit of impatient when they think that they may have access to fiber to the home, but we can't get in a hurry right now. Now's the time to be very deliberate and make sure that we do it right the first time. It's been compared, and I myself have compared fiber to the home in Mississippi as really just what we did back in the 30s when we brought electricity to the homes in rural Mississippi and rural America. There are some differences, however. When we did that in the 1930s, we had engineering consultants from the Rural Electrification Administration out of Washington. So we had engineer consultants, management consultants, people to help us with the accounting and administration. We had access to 2% loans, and we had a huge group of people who needed electricity. We're still trying to provide a service to rural Mississippi, but we do not have access to funding like that, and we don't have access to consultants like that, and that's funding that we have to come up with ourselves. Not to mention that we are entering a competitive market. There may be some areas that we're looking at entering where there's not the competition now, but it can get there quickly or it will be there. So there are some parallels between what we did in the 30s and what we're trying to do with high-speed internet now, but there's also some differences that I really think we need to point out. A little bit of work that we're going to have to do prior to that, and we're going to call on our members to help us. Our members will probably receive in mid to late September a letter from Northcentral. The letter is going to basically state that we need to amend our articles of incorporation. No action needs to be taken on the letter, but that's something that by legal requirement we have to let our members know. So if you get this mailer from us, please read through it. There's some real housekeeping type things that we need to do with our articles of incorporation. We need to say that our principal office is no longer in Senatobia, which it hasn't been in Senatobia and since we formed, to be honest with you. We moved to Byhalia in 1960 and kind of fluctuated around the Senatobia-Como area prior to that. We need to say that we do operate in DeSoto County, not DeSoto County with an A. We need to remove Panola County. There's just some little, as I like to say, housekeeping things. We need to make sure that our articles are perpetual. But there are two things that do stand out in our articles, and we're going to ask the membership at our October 23rd annual meeting, and you will receive a separate annual meeting notice at the beginning of October, where you can come in person and vote on this matter, or you can assign a proxy to another member or our board of directors. And those changes to our articles are going to be to allow us. We are asking for permission. We're not asking for you to tell us what to do, but give us permission to start an internet affiliate if we choose to. Also, we want permission to change our name to Northcentral Electric Cooperative, something that we think better defines what we are and how we want to present ourselves. But you'll see the announcement at a mailer in mid-September, and then the annual meeting notice as something that you'll get in very early October. I always have to go back to my notes or I'm going to leave something out. This is the time of year when we keep our eyes to the tropics quite a bit. And people might say, well, Kevin, when is the last time the service area got hit by a hurricane? And I have to remind people that Katrina did come through as a drifting between a Category 1-2 storm when it came through DeSoto County years ago and Marshall County. But we do have a storm in the tropics, Dorian. And it's probably going to come up somewhere around Port St. Lucie, Florida, something like that, sometime Sunday. The reason we keep our eye on this is, especially in a place like Florida where you have that panhandle and you can bring in assistance to help power restoration from just the north. If you're in another area, you can bring in help from east, west, north, south. But we'll keep our eye on the panhandle of Florida and further down as this storm comes through. We don't know what will happen when it comes through Port St. Lucie. It may potentially comes through Orlando. It could re-enter the Gulf, strengthen some, and we could probably see that. And with this podcast coming out early September, y'all probably obviously know a little bit than what I know at this moment. But we keep our crews on standby. They have a heightened sense of alert, and they're ready to pack up and go and help people when they're in times of need. And that could be something that we're looking at here in the next week or so. It's like I tell people, I would much rather send our crews to help someone else than have them coming up here when we're in times of distress. And we have been, whether it's ice or tornadoes, it happens to us too. So we are keeping our eyes to the tropics.
Okay. All right. We'll toss it over to you, JD.
Okay,
What you got going on for
got a lot going on in the safety front as usual. I'd like to piggyback on something that Kevin talked about as far as weather preparedness. Every October and early October, we do, along with what the governor does as far as a Mississippi statewide weather preparedness program. So we'll hear more about that in the following month. But it's definitely something that we will talk about, try to get people to be prepared for. Give them some information about where they can receive help if they need it in times of emergencies, and just maybe a couple of things they may want to have just in case we had a weather event or something in our area. Safety Day every year at North Central. Kevin allows us to have an opportunity to come together as a company and as a family and just celebrate our safety accomplishments throughout the year, and then really set the tone for the next year going forward. We're really honored this year. We're going to have a speaker to come in, Mr. Lee Shelby. He is a person that has been in the line industry for some time. Early on in his career, he had an incident, and he's going to come in and talk about that incident and really just how it affected his life, and really just some things that he's lived through and ways that he has motivated himself, to get through the incident, and he's going to share some of that with us as well. So we're really looking forward for the opportunity, just to celebrate the really good things that we're doing around here. And as Kevin always says, that good safety doesn't just affect people inside the walls of North Central. It's to our greater community. People traveling through our community, our members, and that also translates and transcends all across the state, that safety message. So we're really going to spend some time and celebrate that, look forward to it. As you had mentioned earlier, Justin, about we got a lot of folks going back to school, and something that I've seen on Facebook and several other social media platforms, and that's this stuff we got going on about people who are passing school buses that are stopped. And Justin, for the life of me, I just cannot understand anybody being in that big of a hurry that they'd be willing to put the lives of our children in danger like that. So please, if you're behind a school bus in the morning times or in the afternoons, please pay attention. Don't be on your phone, talking on the phone, texting, doing all those things that distract you from what you're supposed to be doing, which is driving. And just look, if that stop sign comes out, stop in plenty of time.
Both directions.
Exactly.
That's what people don't understand, is that it's illegal for you to pass any school bus with a stop sign that's sticking out. And you know how quick kids can move, and if that's a big blind spot that a bus provides, and all of a sudden a kid just takes 2 steps out.
Yep.
And we've heard it happen. I remember in 2001, I heard it was in Byhalia. And it's just
I tell you, in this time of year especially, we've got school buses that run several routes in the morning. So the early route may be, the sun hasn't come up. It's dark out there. So you got to look for those flashing lights, and that's when the kids are running from the home to the bus. So you need to keep your eyes out for the bus, and also for those kids standing on the edge of the road.
And that's one thing that they recommend when they start talking about whether it be a school zone or passing a school bus. Before, if there are children in the area, before you pass by them in a car, you make sure that you make eye contact with them to make sure that they know that you're there. That's just such a huge deal. And with everybody now that has cell phones and all that, there's a lot of videos out there that are just unbelievable. So please, we all love our children. We want to make sure that they get to school and back home safely. So please be respectful of the school buses when they stop. And as Kevin said, especially the early buses, especially in the rural areas, they're getting out there sometimes really early, and you can't see as well. So please pay attention with that. Also, we got a holiday coming up. Going to celebrate Labor Day. And with that, a couple things that we always talk about. Fireworks is something that always come up. If you're going to purchase fireworks and use them, make sure first of all that it's legal to do so in your area, and just please use some good safety habits there. But also think about the pets. Mm-hmm. Believe it or not, anytime there's a holiday and a lot of fireworks going off, that is a time when a lot of pets they get scared and they run away from their homes. So make sure that your pets are secure. Make sure that that they're going to be okay with what you're doing. And just in case, if you're going to have a fireworks show at your house and you have pets, make sure they have a collar or something on that identifies, their home and where they're supposed to be, just in case they get scared or something happens and one of your guests lets the pet out. You just want to make sure that they're going to be okay. Also, grilling out, that's going to be a big part.
It's a big part of mine.
Absolutely. It's around my house, that's a big part of every day, but especially on a holiday. Just make sure you're careful with children, cooking hamburgers and stuff like that. Make sure they're done. Make sure you don't have any cross-contamination between different things that you're cooking and your cooking utensils. That's something we want to make sure of there as well. Make sure you practice good safety habits around any type of open fire or grill or anything like that. And if you do have a pool in your backyard and you're having a big pool party, please make sure that someone is paying attention to the young ones. And just make sure there's someone there always watching and being on the lookout in case one of the young ones get into trouble. And with that, that's all I have.
Yeah, I got you. And for some community events, Mr. Michael Bellapani?
Yeah, we'll have a long list of community events, but I really wanted to start off with September is always typically our biggest month for high bill complaints. For most people, you realize that the September bill reflects your August use. And the heat, August heat, we have those air conditioners running. So we're always here to help. We want to help troubleshoot and find out what is the root of those high bills and can offer energy efficiency tips. We'll even offer you a free audit of your home where we'll send somebody out. You can register for that audit through the website 2escore.com. That's 2escore.com. And there's a small upfront fee, but we'll reimburse you when you get the audit completed, and that will give you some energy efficiency measures to help lower that bill. There's two other tools that we recommend that will help ease the burden during these high bill months, and that's our levelized billing service. And that's an opportunity for you to spread that utility bill out over an average for 12 months. And it goes and looks back at your previous 12 months average. And I do that myself. I know roundabout within $2 or $3 what my bill is going to be each month. And that way, these months where at my house I might open it up and it'll be $280, that's kind of knocked down to a manageable level, and it's easy for your budget. And also another good budget tool is our prepay billing service called Pay My Way. And if you use our app or our website, what we'll do is set you up on prepaid metering, and it's basically, think of it like filling up the gas tank for your home. So you come in and you prepay for the energy that you use, and using our app or our web portal, you can monitor what your usage is and see when you need to pay more. And it helps people who are better at managing their expenses week to week or every 2 weeks. And it really makes you more conscious of what your energy use is at home. Might make you turn off those lights or
turn that thermostat up a couple degrees.
Dark house, nice temperature.
Yes. I have a hard time coming off of the temperature on my air conditioner. That's an expense that I'm willing to share, but or to shoulder, but it really does make a difference. 2 degrees on your thermostat can make a big difference in closing a few shades in your home. So be conscious of that, and we do want to help. We're here to help lower those bills and to make things more manageable for your family. So call us, call our customer service reps. There's some energy saving tools on our website at northcentralepa.com, so feel free to visit those.
Michael, it's just like I remind my buddies when they start opening up their utility bills and stuff in September, and and they, of course, they'll call me and I'll say, now look, just remember, last month when the heat index was 110 and you just come inside from cutting your yard and your house was nice and cool, just remember how you felt right then when you walked in. You thought, man, it feels good in here.
You got a gallon of condensation running off your windows.
That's exactly right.
But it is that time of year, so just call us. We're here to help. And I hope everybody, by this time the podcast, I guess, is released, will have seen the new Today in Mississippi. Everybody, we've announced this for a couple of months now, but the September issue will be the inaugural magazine, not the newspaper that you're used to getting. So our statewide staff that puts that together, as well as the local folks here, Justin's got a piece in that, and Kevin as well, worked really hard to make it a relevant publication for our area. We'll start putting more content. We're looking at other columnists and advertisers for that publication. So we really want to highlight Mississippi and all the good that there is here in every aspect. And one of my favorite pieces is the annual outdoors section that gives the hunting schedule. So I know that'll be popular. And a few community events to let y'all know about for your calendars. On September 6th, Lewisburg Patriots will travel to Byhalia High School. And Northcentral is a proud game sponsor for that event, for that football game. So we'll have the bucket truck out there, weather permitting, with our big American flag, and have a big presence there as a game sponsor for Byhalia. And we're eager to get out there for that. Glad football season's back.
It's always a lot of fun.
Let's hope the mosquitoes aren't there, though. But yeah, it's fun. This is my favorite time of year. For you golfers out there, I do have several events. It's that time of year to where the weather's breaking and golf tournament fundraisers are out there. So on September 17th, the 2+2 golf tournaments at Cherokee Valley. And that benefits the 2+2 scholarship, which is an initiative for the Northwest Community College and Ole Miss programs at the DeSoto Center. So the funds raised from that go to scholarships to help support that program. And that way students can get a 4-year degree without leaving South Haven. Any information on that, I'm sure you can call Cherokee Valley Golf Club, but you could also email Miss Patty Gordon at pgordon, Gordon, at northwestms.edu. And the next day on the 18th, I might let Justin introduce the topic on this. This is the Maddox Foundation Volunteer Center is supporting a Tips for Nonprofit Storytelling workshop.
Yes, we actually have done this when I first started. I started at Northcentral in 2017, and we were approached pretty quickly by the Community Foundation of North Mississippi to do a nonprofit media workshop. So we're doing it again 2 years later, September 18th, in our auditorium at Northcentral. It's 4600 Northcentral Way. You can. I'll have to find you the web address, but there's a web address that you can go to register. It's only $25.
Yeah, the link is actually on. If you follow the Maddox Foundation on Facebook, the link is there, and I'm sure we can put it up on the screen.
Oh yeah, we've got it up on our Facebook right now. We've actually created the event, but. I hope I say his name right. Andrew Bartolotta.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Extremely talented guy.
We've talked on the phone a couple times, but I never asked the correct pronunciation for his last name. But he's going to be handling social media and how to write a press release and all these things that nonprofits need to do, because especially with nonprofits that have like little to no communications department or marketing department, they need to know how to do this. So he's going to teach them social media and writing, and I'm going to teach them how to shoot and produce videos and audio productions and things to remember when you're shooting with your phone or with whatever equipment they can muster up in those small nonprofits. So.
That's right. It's a great event. So again, go follow the Maddox Foundation. We'll share the event on our Facebook page. But that is on September 18th. On September 19th is 21st annual White Oak Classic, which is the fundraising golf tournament for the Byhalia Area Chamber Main Street. Main Street takes care of the historic parts of Byhalia, and that includes the old schoolhouse. So this fundraiser has been going on, like I say, for 21 years. It's a fun event at Kirkwood National in Holly Springs. If you want more information on how to sponsor or play in that tournament, email Byhalia membership at gmail.com. Byhalia membership at gmail.com. And on a couple other events that we're sponsoring, on the 26th of September at Cherokee Valley is the Memphis Oral School for the Deaf Golf Scramble. That's a great event. They serve a lot of children from DeSoto and Marshall counties at Memphis Oral School for the Deaf. And you can call the Cherokee Valley Pro Shop at 662-893-4444 for more information on that event. And lastly, actually not lastly, we've got on the 27th of September, the Honor Our Troops Classic at Olive Branch Country Club. This is a great event that's put on to help benefit our troops, the ones that are back home, our veterans really. And funds can go to several different organizations like the Purple Heart Foundation or the Walter Reed Memorial Society, and then a couple of other charities. And always a great event. We'll have flag presentations and a procession into the golf course at the country club. So it's something to see. And you can call the Pro Shop at 895-6525 for more information on how to sponsor or participate in that tournament. And lastly, just to let you guys know, get it on your calendar. It's a fun family event on October 7th in City Park of Olive Branch. Is the Olive Branch Safety Night Out. The police department, fire department, and all the first responders really do a great job of bringing the community together in City Park, feeding them a hot dog or a hamburger, and talking to them about public safety. We show off some of the cool toys that we have, like I think they had the Jaws of Life out there with a car, and the hospital wing will fly in typically if the weather allows, and we'll have our safety demonstration trailer out there that evening too. Mm-hmm. Tons of people that come out there, even on the days that are the times that it's rained and we had bad weather. Folks just came out, and it's good to see that sense of community and surrounding our first responders, especially our law enforcement officers, because that's important. And the police officers with the police department do a great job of interacting with the kids, and everybody has giveaways, and we'll have representation from the business community there as well to highlight their businesses. So October 7th.
If you've never come out, I would encourage you to do so. This is not an event where a couple hundred people show up. It's a couple thousand people show up and go through there. So it's a super cool event, really a great opportunity for you to get out in the community. See your neighbors there and things like that. It's a great time.
What's that date again?
It's October 7th, first Monday of October. So we hope to see y'all there.
We'll have little lineman hats and coloring books too.
Absolutely. Yes.
Something for all ages.
Exactly. That's I'm like it's coloring book. All right. Well, that's it for us. Next month in October, we will actually have a couple guests. We will be interviewing Lee Shelby and his getting information on his story and his book and his safety message, and we will actually have one of the artists from Musicians for LeBonner. He's also an albinism awareness advocate.
Wow.
Yeah, and so he agreed to be on there and does a little interview about how he talks to schools, and he actually earlier, I think it was late last year, went to the UN in Switzerland and spoke and of course performed for him too, so it's really good. His name's Robin X, so we'll have him on the October podcast, and we'll have more on safety. And let's see, October is also it's cooperative month. It is cybersecurity month. It's
Public Power
Week, breast cancer awareness. We will have a full
weather preparedness. It will be a full show for sure.
Exactly. So we might have to release that one in installment.
We may need to stretch October into November a little bit.
Possibly. All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in.
Thanks.